IQ drops 12 points or raises 12 points in the first 5 years. So where do we get these 4 things? That's the question. The answer was, you already had these 4 things. Somebody scratched them out of you. You cannot ask questions in Pakistan from your mommy, your daddy, especially some elderly. So that's nafs-e-ammara, and the struggler is the nafs-e-lawwama, and the one that you put to your place, which is going to be a homing device that every single time is going to guide you towards the right thing, is nafs-e-mutmainna. Okay? There's the 3 categories, these 3 scenarios. But Jannatin tajri min tahtiha al-anhar is an indicator that we're all princes and princesses. Otherwise, we wouldn't have had that kind of urge. Okay? So, let me give you an example. There was this little experiment done, an actual experiment. Google it up, you'll find out. More than 10,000 people were asked around the world, every single country, draw the most beautiful picture on paper. Or let us draw it, tell us what to draw. 10,000 people in the planet, every country, every gender, every age. And the most common thing everybody said was mountain, water, trees, greenery. Jannatin tajri min tahtiha al-anhar. Wherever we are from, our inner self is calling for it. Okay? That's where we're from. That's what we just don't want to look into it. That's why, Muhammad, this is where you open the Quran, you find out, oh my God, this is my own story. This is not just Adam alayhi salam's story, this is my father's story, Adam alayhi salam. So it's going to happen to me. And it is happening to you. I'll show you, don't worry, you're 15, you're going to find out. Gee, you get the big picture now? Okay, I'm going to open this a little later. Let's just take all your questions. So before the sunrise, a Muslim has to be super active, right? Yeah. So we were time managers by faith, by belief. We cannot be asleep when the sun, before the sunrise. If the sun rises before a Muslim, the Prophet said that's the difference between a kafir and a Muslim. Since a prayer is the difference between a kafir and a mu'min, right? Salah is the difference. Fajr is the salah. That's first. That's one. Number 2, you got to make sure that you time your prayer in wastul waqt. Wastul waqt, you know what that means? And the prime time of the prayer. There's a prime time of every prayer. A prayer, when it's in the central time of the prayer, for example, 90 minutes for Fajr in Islam, right? When the sun rises, you cannot pray Fajr. So 90 minutes before the sunrise is Fajr time, okay? When the sun sets, it's 90 minutes for Maghrib, right? So I hope in England you do take 90 minutes for Maghrib, because in Pakistan we take 10. After 10 minutes, people pray Qaza for Maghrib. So shameful that Muslims in Pakistan are so ignorant that they actually pray Qaza because someone told somebody, nobody ever read anything about it, and somebody told somebody, and somebody is actually now praying, oh, 10 minutes ho gaye, so Maghrib Qaza ho gayi. You know, the sun takes the exact same time to rise, same sun, same earth, so it's going to take the same time to set. So if it is 90 minutes for Fajr, it has to be 90 minutes for Maghrib, right? So you cannot sleep before Asr and Maghrib. It's prohibited in Islam by the Prophet ﷺ. You cannot sleep before, between Asr and, if you have to sleep in the evening, after Maghrib is allowed. Okay, but not after Asr. You get it? And you can sleep after Zuhr. Okay, at least recommended for a power nap. Okay. So I'm just telling you how to, because when you see that a religion is telling you when to wake up, have to wake up. There is no choice. You cannot put your own self under a new policy that, oh, I'm exempt from Fajr. No one is exempt from Fajr. You get it? So you got to wake up before the sun, and you cannot sleep while the sun is setting, way before the sun is setting, after Asr. And then you got to be up for Isha as well. You get it? So your chemical is called melatonin. What's it called? M-E-L, melatonin. Melatonin is a sleep hormone. if the melatonin you can control, which I'll tell you how later today, don't worry, then you can set your own alarm clock. I do, millions of people do that, okay? That if you tell yourself when to wake up, you're going to wake up at that time. You don't need an alarm clock because the melatonin works under your own conscious brain's instructions. Whenever you know that you have to wake up, you're going to wake up at that time. Why I'm talking about sleep, even though you asked about time management, okay? Because when you say Islam, does it actually, is time management a thing in Islam? Oh no, it's not just a thing. It's just about everything. Because we start our every day for either certain time, we cannot do certain things, we cannot sleep at certain times, and we have to wake up at certain times. Okay? And then the whole 24-hour cycle is regulated by a Muslim's, own chemistry, and he puts himself to work whenever he has to work. And then if he can sleep during the day, after Zohar, he can for a bit, but he cannot sleep for 2, 3, 4 hours because he cannot sleep after Asr and Maghrib, right? So if it's Asr time, you cannot sleep. So you cannot, Islam is actually getting you out of this sloth status and going into a very active, actually proactive status. Before the human beings or any animal is going to wake up, a Muslim is up before the sunrise, right? So we are all about time management. It is not just an option, it is mandatory. It is mandatory. The second thing, under time management, which you'll learn because you're 14, people who work, they know that a Muslim, if he commits to even let's just say 5:55, I'm going to be done by 6, I'm going to meet you at 2. If he commits something, and if he does not put that commitment within that time, he's out of Islam. Okay? The Prophet said a mu'min can be everything, anything but a cheat. Because if he commits, he's got to follow through. If he does not, he's not a Muslim. A mu'min can be anyone but a guy who breaks his commitments. So that's coupled with what I'm talking about in chapter 1 of the answer. You see these two things and you'll find out, is there anything else we expect from other human beings in the world? No, we don't. So you honor your word. Whenever you have to fulfill something at whatever time, you got to be so accurate. And then you're not a sloth. Okay? Now, I can go into subcategories. I don't want to. I hope you got the answer of, because you asked me if there's a hadith. Yeah, it's not just hadith. There's ayahs about this. Okay?